Another newcomer? Seems like there are a lot of you today. Well, come on in. Don't be shy. My name is Zakharich. I am the local trader around here. I handle the extra supplies because the gear they hand out for free doesn't inspire much confidence. I'll be straight with you. You won't last long with that stuff. So, bring me some loot from the zone, and I'll hook you up with everything you need. Guns, ammo, gear, you name it. And bring artifacts too. Scientists snatch them up for experiments, and they're willing to pay handsomely for them. It's dangerous here in Chernokamensk. Lots of folks took weapons and never come back. So, now guns are in short supply. To prevent them from running out completely, I came up with this scheme. Complete a couple of tasks, get approval to buy better gear. I know, it sounds like a cold calculation, but if everyone goes down with good guns, there won't be anything to give to newcomers at our checkpoints. And one more thing. Sometimes I urgently need specific items. I'm willing to pay double the usual for those. You can track them on the monitor and in your PDA, right where the tasks are. Well, I think that's it. Go on your first trade. If you come back, we'll talk further. Oh, I almost forgot. I recommended not skipping out on insurance. I'll give you the first one for free. On the house, so to speak. There it is, to the left of the door.
What's up, people? Would Not Punch here. Convergence came out April 22nd, 2024, and I'm going to show my experience playing the first 2.5 hours of Convergence and probably comparing it to what Paradox of Hope would have been before it got canned by copyright. Essentially, you have different levels from 1 to level 5. The level 1 is a revolver, which would have been the Makarov in Paradox of Hope, changed to the 6-shot revolver. Then you have the PPSH and the Tokarev at level 2. And then I think at level 3 you have either the Saiga or the AK. And then at level 5 is the SVD. The other thing is you have death insurance. So if you die with that insurance that you just picked up, then you'll keep all your stuff. But once that goes away, you'll lose everything upon death. So if you go into a raid and you have a level 2 backpack, a bunch of weapons and attachments on it, you'll lose those. I don't know if the backpack will go, but the items and the weapons absolutely will. So you have to buy them again at the store. So if you want to get your AK back with a bayonet or your revolver with a silencer or a scope, you have to do that too. The other thing is you can keep your stash and you can pet your dog, which you have a pet dog in this game, and he's your companion. When you go into raids, he'll kill people, he'll stay, or he'll follow you. And there's different ways to do that by commands via whistling. So if you go and take the controller, put it up to your mouth, if you do 2 successive short whistles, he'll follow you. 2 long will stay, and 1 short one will be a sick'em, and he'll bite the enemy that you're attacking. And he's pretty damn useful too, because if they're shooting at him, I don't think he takes damage, but still, he's killing them instantly compared to me just spraying them with a revolver AK-47. The other thing is that when you played Paradox of Hope, you had the buggy. This got changed to a truck, and you have different things to where you're riding on the road, you have headlights, you have the PDA with the flashlight on top of the dashboard, and then you have the accelerator, and then you have the key ignition to where you could turn it, and it'll start the mission up. And then it'll throw you into the garage, which is the easy area, the starter mission of playing Convergence. And this is what it looks like. You have these garages kind of everywhere on your left and right hand side, and you have stalkers that are going around, or bandits going around taking items or looking around at like garbage cans or pieces of trash or even broken down cars, and you can kill them when they're not looking. Using the throwing knife, it will insta-kill most, if not all, bandits. And when they do die, they'll drop different things. They'll drop med kits, ammunition for your revolver, maybe a magazine for the PPSH that you can get without having to buy it from the store. You can just get it for free from them. Headshots will insta-kill unless they have a helmet. 2 shots mainly to do that. And then body shots are 3 to 4 shots with a revolver or half a mag with the PPSH. Another thing is the PDA that you have on your right shoulder. It will tell you energy, hydration, and stamina as well as your health. And this is pretty useful, so if you have to eat crackers or drink water, you could do that and it'll tell you how much you have. Another thing is that you have to feed yourself and water yourself every time you go into a raid. And if you go to the hub world before you go into a mission, there's a giant barrel of water. Highly recommend people refilling water with the canteen, because when you buy the canteen, water does not come with it. Not to mention, when going into a raid, you're going to get different types of tasks that you need to complete, whether it be finding high demand items or being able to find an artifact. The artifact will be able to get you your higher level, which is needed to get higher weapons, armor, level 2 backpack, and the radiation suit, which are definitely still there, but your level requirement is level 3 or higher for the radiation suit and the heavy suit. The weapons, like I said earlier, the PPSH, the Saiga, the SVD, are anywhere between level 3 and up, and SVD being level 5 would be the hardest to get, or the longest, because you have to go through finding a different anomalies and doing all these different quest lines to be able to increase your rank. And when it comes down to a lot of the issues I had with the game, one in particular is that when you shoot an enemy, his body will go into a car or a pile of garbage, and you can't pick up anything from them. So it's hard to figure out whether you could put your hand over their body and pick up like a cylinder of ammunition for your revolver, or even like a med kit that you don't have. You could also spin the revolver cylinder by taking your hand of the other controller and just spinning it. You don't have to press a button, it'll do it by itself. And I thought that was a pretty nice addition to going from the Makarov to the revolver, not to mention the revolver's attachments being a scope, which was kind of weird, and then the suppressor, which is pretty useful, since if I'm shooting a stalker or a bandit, there's another stalker or bandit right next to them, and they don't hear me until they turn around. And they will chase me if I shoot at them and they're not dead. So that's another thing that happens. But later on in the video, I'll show the underground level, which is level 2, and my issues with that. The only other problems I have with the game is when you're shooting or getting into combat, it will start to like render really slowly or have some slow FPS issues. Not a big deal for me because I'm running on the Quest 2 Airlink, and there really hasn't been much of an issue otherwise than that. So when you're done with every raid, you go and talk to the trader, which again is a nice touch that he can speak English now compared to Paradox of Hope when he just did Russian and had the English subtitles. So they did a lot of changes with this, and Monkey with a Bomb definitely made it more enjoyable to play, not to mention going underground tunnels at being level 2, which they changed the mutants. These guys are tough as hell. It took 4 or 5 stabs to kill one of them in Paradox of Hope. Now it takes like 10 or 12, including a full magazine of Atakara before they die. They are tough as hell. I mean this. If you see 2 or 3 of them, run away and funnel them, or have a giant SMG and spray them down with as many bullets as you possibly can, because you will die if you don't have enough ammo or the weapons to do it, because your dog doesn't do shit for you. The dog is there for emotional support during the mutants attacking you. Not so much when it comes down to the other bandits, because the dog loves to eat bandits. But when it comes down to these guys, he'll just look at you, watch you as you die, or if you survive, he'll be like, oh, you want to pet me? That's cool. Before the end of the video, I want to say this. What happened to Paradox of Hope I still find to be bullshit, especially by a AAA studio company that was like, oh, we're going to go after this one person that made a really good game in VR and try to screw him over. So now that that game got canned, you have now a new one called Convergence. And do I recommend people getting it? Absolutely. I find it fun as hell. Even my first session was 2.5 hours. I still love it. And it's something that I wish Into the Radius 1 would have been, instead of fighting like shadow people. But anyway, I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been another video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later.